Hello, Green Bay Packer Nation, back again with a breakdown of last night's beatdown of the Bears by the Packers. Just gonna go through the game, give some highlights, and we'll get through it. As always, you know where to find me: Twitter, Locals, Twitch, and now Rumble. Let's get into the video. Now this game started out as I predicted in the beginning of the game, that the Packers might come out slow on defense and offense, and they did. I mean, they scored a field goal, but Montgomery came out of the gate and ran over them, running for a touchdown. Then Packers defense kicked in like it should, and they beat them down to a 24-7 lead. There's some struggling in the second half for sure. Packers were driving, of course, and then an inadvertent fumble by A.J. Dillon, which I cannot say I blame him for. I think that was more on Rodgers with the improper handoff. But luckily, the defense was able to hold them and give up a field goal. And just from top to bottom, it was a much better game for the Packers than it was last game. Generally improved everywhere around the field. I mean, still the defense is kind of a bit of a work in progress. They'll get better though. And it was the Bears, so not as good a competition as the Vikings. They beat on Justin Fields. Justin Fields had some decent throws, but overall it's just definitely not as good a game as he had last week. And even last week's game wasn't great for Justin Fields, to be honest. I still think he has all the potential in the world, but again, at times he just doesn't look like he knows where he is in the field. Case in point, that penalty in the third quarter was where he was clearly over the line of scrimmage, and then he threw a ball and everybody's saying, oh, we got a first down, but it's like he's clearly over over the line of scrimmage. It was nowhere near, is like at least 2-3 yards over. And it's just one of those examples of his lack of experience. Sure, he can get better and get more experience, but it's just the lack of attention to detail that he did not know where he was on the field. I mean, there was a later play in the game with Rodgers in the fourth quarter where he's scanning the field and he gets close to over the line of scrimmage, and he runs parallel to it, knowing exactly where it is and throwing a deep ball. Now, that's maybe a skill that Fields will learn, but I don't know. That offensive line is really, really not good. And it's probably not going to get any better this year. Hopefully, for their sake, Tevin Jenkins continues to improve, but there's some serious issues they have on the offensive line. And there's just game flow issues for the Bears throughout. Running the ball consistently on the first drive did wonders for them. Then all of a sudden they went away from it, started passing more, and Packers were able to rush, get in, pass the offensive line, get a couple sacks. But then all of a sudden in the third quarter, they came back to it, and Montgomery started to tear them up again. But ultimately, it just wasn't enough. Packers had that great goal line stand in the fourth quarter. I know there was that one shot when they were reviewing the play that appeared to show that he was over the line, but that's all there was, and even then, you could barely tell. And it was just not obvious, not enough evidence to overturn, and that's the kind of criteria you need when reviewing a play. You can't just look at one image and say, oh, that's it, when all the other 5 or 6 images say nothing, or they just can't show you what you want. So they've just had no choice but to say it was not a touchdown. And then the Packers go down the field again, only getting a field goal, which was disappointing. I was hoping for another touchdown, but they look great. It's amazing what happens with the Packers when they consistently run the ball. Packers had almost 200 rushing yards between A.J. Dillon and Aaron Jones. Aaron Jones getting the majority of it. And it's just amazing what happens. It just opens the field so much for Aaron Rodgers and the offense. Rodgers is able to get open or feel more comfortable in the pocket, able to spread out, roll out of the pocket for deeper throws. It just does wonders. Totally confuses the defense and really showed. There were the times where they didn't run the ball and they didn't go very far. I mean, as a fan, it's easier for me to say to just keep running the ball. And Gameful always dictates it, but it was good to see LaFleur continued with what he said last game, that we need to give more touches. And look what happens when you give more touches to Aaron Jones and A.J. Dillon combined. A.J. Dillon didn't have as efficient of a game, but when he was moving, he was rumbling and bumbling through the Bears defense. And they just look great. I really like to see Sammy Watkins getting in there, getting receptions and just looking great on his routes. He just looks healthier than he has been in the last couple of years. He looks like a really good pickup for the Packers so far. Especially last year when the offseason, there were a lot of people saying that he doesn't have much left, and he's showing it that he does have a lot left. When he's healthy and he has a good quarterback throwing him the ball, he can do really well. There's still some more rapport that needs to be built up between Rodgers and the rookie wide receivers, and it's getting better. Christian Watson had some good runs, and except for that one fumble that he inadvertently caused where the ball bounced off his elbow and then the ball went flying back. It's just one of those things that happens. And Christian Watson, he's going to keep getting better. Dobbs hopefully will get more targets in the next game. I think he only had a few in this game. Allen Lazard was huge. It really opens the field for them. Lazard is probably their best wide receiver, top to bottom. And it really shows what happens when he's out there, how Rodgers can find other people as well. And even still, Lazard got a touchdown. He looked great. There's that little bit in the first quarter where he looked like he had re-injured himself, but he came out to the field just fine. And overall, it was just a really great game. Another thing for the Packers, it's great to see Elton Jenkins back out there. He looks better. It took him a little bit of time to get work into the game flow in the first quarter, but yeah, if he can stay healthy, the Packers offensive line will be much better for sure. I'd have my doubts that Bakhtiari will be out there, and even if he is, I don't think he'll be anywhere near what he was 2 years ago, which is unfortunate, but overall, it was a great game of the Packers. My prediction came true. They beat them down. Even though it seemed a lot closer than it was, the Packers truly beat the Bears down. And hopefully we get something like that next week when they play Tampa Bay, which I'm doubting, but we'll see. As always, if you're just happening upon this video, give it a like if you like it, subscribe, comment, share, all of that. I will be having a live stream later today around 3 p.m. going over the games so far in week 2 of the NFL season. Not so great of a prediction week for me, especially some of those early games on Sunday were really bad, but if you like my content, continue to watch. I'll keep posting shorts every couple days along with full form videos, and as always, have a great day. Go Pack Go, and God bless.